Hey, I'm Mike,
I'm Jeremy. We're the Devil Wears Prada.
and you are watching Loudwire. We really liked the turnout of the Zombie EP from about 5 years ago. And we wanted to do the same thing again, like as a writer and the band just generally getting to write about this stuff is we found to be very enjoyable and the reception to be really strong too. We've always kind of, our guitarist who left not too long ago, he would intentionally write things with like a kind of visual aesthetic in mind. So when you have that kind of process applied to, something like space or zombies or something, it just kind of is super, super fun for us, and I feel like it works well. We had tossed around a bunch of different ideas as far as what that new theme was going to be, but space definitely felt right. And we just saw The Martian last night, and I was kind of reminded that we could probably do another 5 songs on space. It's funny you mentioned David Bowie. The Museum of Contemporary Art in Chicago did a Bowie exhibit. It was the only one in the States that did the Bowie piece, and I went and saw it. It was so amazing. My dad went and saw it too when he was visiting Chicago, and he was like one night telling me how amazing it is that Bowie would always create these characters and then go back to them through records and whatnot. Major Tom and whatnot. I kind of wanted to do something like that with Elizabeth and Planet A and such, so yeah, good times.
Musically, it was our keyboard player, John's song. This album actually was kind of a first for us. We each brought in different songs. Him and Mike wrote a song together. He wrote that song, I wrote a song, our other guitar player wrote a song, and then we kind of collaborated them together. So that was a song John had. Mike went out to Kansas to work on it with them and kind of developed this theme around it, and then they tweaked it to fit that theme. And I think, did he mention like not the asteroid, but the ship crashing and stuff?
Yeah, when he sent over the first demo, he's like, he was just goofing around, and he's like, so in the bridge of the song, there's like this whole catastrophe, and what I'm imagining is that this, maybe a ship takes off and it crashes. So I was like, oh, him and I were on a phone call, and I was like, oh, that's amazing, we'll just create a character that's flying the ship and create the mission, the malfunction and everything, who turned out to be Elizabeth. So, yeah, I woke up one morning, I just like had it, and I just dished it out lyrically. Demoed it way later on. We critiqued the break, like the heavier part, the malfunction, Houston part John worked on. He added a lead over the chorus and whatnot, and then none of us are able to program drums well. So when Dan comes in and Dan plays drums, we're like, oh, look at that. It sounds like not a local band.
Yeah, John and I's demos are like, do-do-ka-do-do-ka-ka-ka. It's like, oh my.
Yeah.
Well, and then the intro to that was...
yeah, I wrote a transcript. We actually got some flack. I saw recently someone's like, oh, cool, just steal someone else's like Apollo mission. But like, I wrote it. The male voice is Ben, who's been our tour manager and front of house engineer for 7 years now. And the female voice is Kyle, his girlfriend Kristen. So we did all that. We did different media, like newspaper articles within the album artwork and whatnot as well, following the mission and the other folks in the mission, and how basically the newspaper article that I wrote that's in the album artwork follows the other folks on the mission that died or were lost, and how there's this faraway heart monitor system that's like getting this bleep, and that's how we know Elizabeth is still alive. So yeah, I think Planet A is a strong kind of point to represent a lot of the space EP. One of my favorites personally, at least. Oh yeah, it was a very main derivative of of Aliens. I was watching it in the studio in Long Island when we were recording it, and I think it was one of the last songs I did actually, and I was like, I don't want it to be so like cliche and just run of the mill. But at the same time, I wanted it really forthright and abrupt, and this is an alien attack. But yeah, the imagery is very much based on that like Geiger and Ridley Scott type of 80s, 90s. We actually just filmed a video 2 days ago for Alien that we're going to be putting together now. And Casey Pierce, who directed Planet A, is working on it. And we're trying to do like a VHS vibe. I'm really, really excited. The video should be pretty gnarly, very rapid. But yeah, I wanted it to be the same as like really kind of what Romero was for the Zombie EP, was like that, like Aliens as far as for that song. I wanted it to be, I felt like Supernova and Moon God are songs that are a little more romantic, a little more fictionalized in that their kind of relationship built. And that never really happened besides like the last song on Zombie. So I wanted something that was sort of lyrically anatomical, if that makes sense. And Alien is that song. I wonder what would happen if that day came. And I did the same thing, and also in the album artwork where there's a piece, basically like kind of a sign off from this journalist of like, this is the end. And it kind of also talks about like the slums of Mumbai taking over like the skyscrapers and whatnot, and basically like the balancing of wealth and kind of considering like everything that would happen at the end of the world. And lyrically what the song wanted to do was, or what I wanted was to really get to like a sentimentality. Or like this, a very emotional perspective of basically all the time we wasted on things that we shouldn't have been focusing on, and all the things we should have been focusing on instead. That was a song that I drove out to Kansas where John, our keyboardist, lives. And I just brought my guitar gear and I was like, well, I'm just gonna play and you're gonna kind of direct it together. So we just started and we had this riff and like moving into the verses and all this, and we're like, it just feels like it's crashing. I'm like, well, this could be like the asteroid, and let's like just end everything, and we'll end the EP with ending the world. So yeah, it was very much kind of born on that guitar riff and like the crashing nature of the whole song, and then we wanted to send it off in like this kind of like, we were like really into this band like Altar of Plagues and Deaf Heaven for like the end, just speedy, just blast through, like just mania, I guess.
I think
and
that
that's
was
the world, that's like watching the asteroid hit, so.
That was the first song too, I think. That was the one that you guys sent over and were like, meh, I don't know, should we? And we're like, okay, good, yes, we can do a space EP, we're good.
Yeah.